everybody, it's the Lawn Gnome and welcome to your May 2018 Funko Pop update. You know, I have to admit, Funko is a very interesting beast. When I came back from my vacation, I threw $132 down on pre-orders for all of the amazing new lines that they announced at Toy Fair. And there were so many amazing pops that I was finally excited to get. And part of me in the back of my mind was thinking, oh please God, please don't give me anything more. Don't give me any more awesomeness this year. I just want to appreciate what I have and just wait a little bit of time to see what Funko has in store for us. Well, they're not going to do that. It's just not Funko's way. And there are so many amazing new pops that are coming out, some amazing news that they've recently discussed, and yes, there are some new pops that I definitely want to add to my collection. Also, I have to congratulate Funko because their documentary, Making Fun, will be hitting Netflix soon. And I'm actually thinking about talking a little bit about it when I've actually seen it on one of my future pop updates. I don't know if it'll be a review, but it will definitely be a brief summary and feelings towards it. But there's plenty of news to discuss, but before we do that, as always, let's take a look at how my collection has been going. So for today's Funko Pop haul, the theme is nostalgia, and let me tell you, nostalgia comes from so many different areas, but we're actually going to be doing something a little bit special here because we're going to start off this little nostalgia haul with a couple of lines that my wife actually wanted to add to our collection, and Jen is here with us today, so Jen, say hello to everybody.
Hey.
One of them, of course, is one of the legendary shows of Jim Henson's mind, and that, of course, is Fraggle Rock. And then there are the Care Bears. So, before we get into the individual pops, Fraggle Rock is something that was very much a part of Jen's life. How much? Like, tell us what your fondest memory about Fraggle Rock was.
Well, my fondest memory is less my memory and more my mom's memory. I used to always hear stories about how apparently it was on early enough, Saturday or Sunday morning, I don't know which because I was too little, and apparently I knew what day it was, and I would come running out of bed, open my parents' door, turn on the TV, and be bouncing on the end of their bed, humming along to the theme song, waking my parents up.
Which is definitely one of the greatest theme songs of all time. I will definitely agree with that. Now, I never watched Fraggle Rock because I didn't have HBO, but thank God we've watched a couple of episodes, and I've got to say the final episode was one of the best series finales that I ever watched. But let's not worry about the show. Let's actually get into the pops. So the first one that we're going to talk about is Red. Red, of course, was the ultimate girl power, you know, strong-willed, adventurous one. The style, I will definitely say, especially for a Funko Pop, not bad at all. I particularly love the details on her pigtails. I love it. I love her expression, the curious expression, as well as her tail in the back. They really went out of their way to get some great details, and something I just noticed was each one of them has Henson on one of their feet, and that's just awesome. And I think one of the also cool things is that they each come with a little doozer, except for one of the specific ones who's right there in the middle, who we'll talk about in a bit. Jen and I both agree that Red came with the wrong doozer. She should have come with Cotterpin, because we watched the show, and Cotterpin, who was one of the big, well-known female doozers, she got along and had a friendship with Red, so I'm quite surprised that she did not come. But either way, the doozer is adorable. I love the details as well, especially for something so small. And then we'll move on to Boober, who is a character that Jen wasn't really attached to when she was younger, so what is it about Boober that attracted your likingness towards him?
At the end of the theme song opening up each show, Boober's right there at the end, sort of by a pond, he goes like, down in Fraggle Rock, and rests his head on his hand, and I just love that he does that. I love the way he does that, the sort of, I don't care, I'm sort of tired, just let the song end now, because he's sort of the low energy, of the main Fraggles. He'd rather be washing laundry than off having adventures.
And I think that's part of his charm. Yeah, I think that's part of his charm, and I love it. This is probably one of the best looking ones. It looks exactly like the Muppet. Again, the details on the hat with his hair and the tail as well. I love the details on his little scarf. And of course, he comes with a little doozer as well. But now we gotta talk about the Toys R Us exclusive. Yeah, a little bit of nostalgia there. Let's talk about Jen's favorite character in all of Fraggle Rock, and that is Sprocket.
So if you've never seen Fraggle Rock, along with the Fraggles who live down in, their home is actually called Fraggle Rock, up above them on the surface, there's like a hole from their area that opens up into this workshop of this guy called Doc, who I've never been entirely sure if he's a doctor or if that was like a doctorate, but he seems to like have a workshop that fiddles around to make things, and he has this dog, Sprocket, who's also a Muppet.
Yes, that's the best part about him.
I've never been entirely sure if it was just fully a human in the suit or what. Sprocket's front paws, which are absolutely hands in big furry gloves, and Sprocket is very human. Reacts to things in very human ways, uses his paws like hands to grip things, just has the greatest reactions, and usually whatever we saw in the beginnings, it always started with Doc and Sprocket. Something was going on with Sprocket and Doc, and the theme of what was going on with them was echoed in whatever was happening in the rest of the episode down in Fraggle Rock.
Yes.
So Sprocket, is his facial expressions, the way he reacted to things, how human he was. He's always been one of my favorite characters. When I was a little kid, I wanted a stuffed Sprocket. I don't think they existed. Maybe if we had the internet back then, I could have looked online and tried to find one. But that was like one of the things I missed in my childhood, was I wanted a stuffed Sprocky. So that's what Doc called him, was Sprocky a lot.
Yeah, and this is the closest that we're going to get. The only thing I don't like about him is that he's tiny compared to the Fraggles, which doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
he should be bigger.
He should be like a 6-inch pop rather than a 3-inch.
Or at the very least the same size as they are.
But at the same time, you know, you gotta look at the details. I mean, his facial expression is perfect. Like, he looks like Sprocket. And also, I love that he's also got the little Fraggle-like tail as well.
That's what his tail was like.
Yeah, I also like the way that they designed the dog tags. Perfect. I mean, like I said, I think the only issue with him is just that he's not bigger. He should be bigger, but he is fantastic. And I know that you're so happy to have a little Sprocky in your collection finally. So before we move on to the Care Bears, the only thing that I'm curious about is, this is obviously not the entire set. There's also Moki, and there's Gobo, and there's Wembley, who does come with Cotterpin, and there's also Traveling Matt, who's part of the Specialty series, or Uncle Traveling Matt. Why not them in the collection? Why just these three?
Of the characters I like, these are the ones that I think looked the best. Moki actually looked really good, looked spot on, but I've never liked her character. She's too loosey-goosey, hippy-dippy for me. Always, even since I was a little kid, I've never liked her. She did look really good. I'm not going to buy a character just because she looks good if I don't like the character. Moki and Bobo and Wembley, I did not think they looked good. The hair didn't look realistic, just everything about them, and they didn't look right to me.
Right.
Now, if I was absolutely in love with one of those characters, maybe I would have gotten them anyway, but I couldn't justify buying them and going to buy a whole set if I don't love the characters so much, and they just don't look like the characters enough.
And I think you didn't want Uncle Traveling Matt because you didn't like his hairy chest. I think that's the reason that turned you off.
Yeah, it did a little bit.
But anyway, let's move on to the Care Bears. Now, Care Bears were something that were very important to my childhood. I actually had a Care Bear. I loved the cartoon. I actually went to see the second movie in theaters, and I love the way these look. These actually look like Care Bears. The only thing that will make you realize that these are Funko Pops is the box they come in and the black eyes. But these, in terms of their head shape, in terms of their body proportion, these actually look like Care Bears. I used to have these Care Bears action figures, and they are so accurate to the action figures. But Care Bears is a weird thing with Jen. It's like sort of something that she had in her childhood but doesn't really remember much of.
Again, I was little. I remember going to the video rental store, not Blockbuster, the actual local place where I walked in and they recognized me and asked if I was there to rent the same movies again, because apparently every week I'd go and I'd rent either one of the Care Bears movies or I think that if there was like a Rainbow Bright movie or something, I rented something like that. It was like the same couple of movies I rented every single week. So I don't have memories to know if I even watched the shows on TV. The Care Bears were just always things I loved, things I liked, but I don't know exactly from where, other than video rental.
Yeah, but the Pops themselves, they're fantastic. I mean, we're just going to take a look at Cheer Bear first. Like, I love that they also have different expressions, like they're not all uniform, and they did a great job with her. I mean, I love the rainbow. It is perfect. I love the shade of pink, as well as the heart nose with the 3 little freckles and the smile. She looks like she's ready to give you a big hug with the little hearts on the hand, and they also have hearts on their feet, too. So part of me feels a little bit weird about the fact that I have to put them on a surface, because I'm afraid that those things will fade away. But you also can't have Care Bears
without the heart on the tushy.
Without the tush heart. They need the tush heart, and it is absolutely perfect. Grumpy Bear, I'm a little upset that we got a little bit of a scuff on his face, but I love his expression. Like, when I see the Grumpy Bear pop, like, I hear the voice actor who voiced Grumpy in the cartoon and the movie, because it was the same actor. He's got like that little humph look to him. I absolutely love the fact that he's got his arms at his hips. I love how his eyes are not like droopy sleepy, but rather like frustrated and annoyed. And I love the little expression on his mouth. And once again, same thing. You got the hearts on the feet, you got the tushy heart, and I love the symbol. They got the rain cloud perfect. Now, Bedtime Bear is very interesting because Bedtime Bear is now officially super rare because he was a Funko Shop exclusive, as you can see over here, and he was sold out in a matter of 20 minutes. I was so thankful for Nerd Therapy, but the only reason why we got Bedtime Bear was because Jen had a Bedtime Bear pillow in college, I think it was?
In college, yes. When I went off to college, or maybe even the second year, I bought a big stuffed squishy bedtime bear to throw under the bed and have this, like, to lean against and things like that. Which my bedtime bear didn't have a sleep hat, but I love my bedtime bear. Was very upset when at one point I thought that he had been thrown out from my parents' basement, and we finally found him a year or two later in a garbage bag, and I was just so happy that I still have him. He's currently in storage, waiting for when we're in a house and have space.
Yep.
But he's still around, he's still there.
And once again, not too thrilled about the fact that there was a little bit of an error, but that's the problem when you order things by mail. You're not always going to get the best paint job. One of his little freckles, which is supposed to be 3, there's 2, is missing. It got smudged. But again, I love the fact that they added a little bit of an addition just because he's a special. We got the nightcap. I like that. I like that he's holding a star because, you know, Bedtime Bear, nighttime. He always had, like, little star buddies hovering around him. And once again, same thing. The feet and the tushy heart, perfect. I love the shade of blue. They got him perfect along with his counterparts. They did a great job with every single one of them. And it's just really nice to actually have something that is truly from our respective childhood. I mean, there are so many that I liked from my childhood, like there were He-Man Pops, there's Thundercats Pops, but when I look at them as an adult, I just don't really think of them as much in awe like I used to because I got older, but Care Bears for myself and for my wife, and Fraggle Rock, and now that I've seen Fraggle Rock, I totally get why she loves them so much. Totally understandable. These are definitely great additions to our collection. So this is a first. We're not going to actually have any Funko Specialty Series today because there were none that were actually featured as Funko Pops, which makes complete sense because about a month ago they announced that there were going to be 2 Pops that were featured as the Specialty Series, but this time around they gave us 2 different kinds of Funko products, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there definitely were some interesting things to purchase at the Funko shop, and there was also a lot of controversy met, specifically with the 2 at the top of your screen, and that was a limited to 3,000 pieces Ace the Bat Hound, as well as a Toucan Sam, which caused issues with the website and sold out immediately, and there were so many complaints in regards to these 2 Pops, and Funko did in fact formally apologize, but a lot of people don't think that that's enough. And quite frankly, certain characters like these 2, which are definitely interesting and unique, people are going to want them. So I don't necessarily think that these should be limited to a certain amount of pieces and be a little bit more efficient to order on their websites. I mean,
mean, I'm not personally interested in either of them, but I do have to admit that the Toucan Sam does look pretty cool. Not to mention the fact that there's also the newest edition of the Zodiac series, which is Taurus, and that was actually ordered by me because this is my wife's sign, and she said it is really awesome except for the nose ring, but she still thinks that it is important to have her own Funko Zodiac symbol. So unfortunately, you cannot get Ace the Bat Hound and Toucan Sam anymore, but Taurus, as well as the other Zodiacs, are still very much available and easy to come by on the Funko shop. So if you're still looking for your Zodiac sign, go out and get them. They're all available. And now let's take a look at a couple of additional specials that are coming out from various online sources. We have the newest addition to the Rick and Morty line, which is a new version of Pickle Rick from PX Previews. There's also a Galactic Toys Dragon Ball Super character Zen-O, an Entertainment Earth Xenomorph alien from the Sega Genesis Alien game, which is also pretty cool. Another one of those 8-bit pops that pretty much makes sense and should be 8-bit. I love the color scheme. As well as a AAA exclusive, and this is not AAA as in the AAA service, but it is a Chrome supersized Megazord pop. Each and every one of these are available right now. If you want either of these four, go out and get them. And there are two exclusives being offered from Books A Million. One of them is a supersized black and white Godzilla, as well as Torrin from Game of Thrones, and he is snow-covered. There are a couple of those that they've actually done in the past on the Game of Thrones line, like the very well-known Jon Snow in the Snow. He's available at Books A Million. And Hot Topic extended the DC line with an exclusive Harley Quinn, which definitely looks pretty cool, but very interestingly, Sandman pops. This is the very first Sandman pop, of course, the Neil Gaiman comic book series. This is Death, and she is not an exclusive. She is available anywhere, but I just wanted to feature her with this specific Hot Topic exclusive because they are DC characters. But don't worry, there are some amazing Hot Topic exclusives that will be featured later on in this video. And probably one of the few that I really wish that I would have paid more attention to is the 400th pop in the Disney collection. Way to go, Disney and Funko. And it is the boxed lunched Earth Day exclusive of Wally. And this is an adorable Wally pop. Of course, he's holding the boot with the plant in it. And what's very interesting about this pop was that it was released on boxed lunch for Earth Day. And the box and the pop itself are made out of recyclable materials. That's pretty awesome. I personally just didn't want to wait till midnight to actually purchase it because I had work the next day, but it sold out almost immediately. I have no idea if this was extremely limited, and I have no idea if I'm ever going to get this one in my collection, but I do think it is an awesome pop, and I kind of want it for the sake of a good cause, rather than just the pop itself. Not to say that I don't love Wall-E. As a matter of fact, I think Wall-E is one of the greatest Disney Pixar movies ever made, but who knows, maybe I'll get it somewhere down the line, because I do need a box lunch exclusive. You know, the number one movie right now is Avengers Infinity War, and Marvel pops are abundant, whether they are part of the Avengers Infinity War or not. All of the retail stores are just jumping on the Avengers Infinity War bandwagon to get so many different kinds of Marvel pops out to you. There is the Walgreens exclusive of the 6-armed Spider-Man. There is a company called Box. I don't know much about it, but apparently this is going to be sold at FYE. It is a double pack of Thor and Groot, and of course, lots of you have already seen the movie, so I don't consider this a spoiler. There is a GameStop exclusive 6-inch pop of the Hulk in the Hulk Buster armor busting out of it. Wow. How many times did I think I was going to say bust in that sentence? I like that one. It's really cool, and I think the details are fantastic. I'm not going to add this one to my collection, but I can totally see so many people going out to get it. But wait, there's even more coming. There's going to be more Avengers Infinity War exclusives. There's going to be an action-posed Captain America from Walmart, the 300th pop in the Marvel line. So congratulations to Funko and Marvel, and this is a Target exclusive of Iron Spider with his iron legs, as well as a Funko store exclusive of Stonekeeper. I'm really hoping that this one is not going to be a difficult one to get on the Funko shop after all of the trouble that they've had. And there is a new wave of the Black Panther line, and there are some really interesting ones, including M'Baku, aka Man-Ape. There is a Ulysses Claw, which looks fantastic. I'm actually glad that these two characters became pops, because they are big fan favorites in the Black Panther film, and I'm also excited to know that M'Baku is going to be showing up in Avengers Infinity War, as well as another version of Eric Killmonger. And of course, the Marvel Collector Corps was announcing a Infinity War box, and it is is a pop ride of Thanos in his ship. I love the details. It is fantastic, but of course, I didn't want to add it to my collection. As a matter of fact, I already have a Marvel Collector Core pop in my collection, but this one, a lot of people were not too thrilled about it until they saw it up close, and now everybody wants to get their hands on it. But there's even more. There's going to be a exclusive box from Target, which includes a metallic Thanos pop as well as a Funko t-shirt of Thanos. But I think one of the most amazing things is the fact that Avengers Infinity War has just been released in theaters, and they're already offering a special if you pre-order the film from them on Blu-ray or DVD. I mean, I honestly have no idea if it's just Blu-ray or if it's just DVD, but basically, if you do in fact purchase the Avengers Infinity War movie from Target, you will be able to get an exclusive pop from them, and it is a red chrome Iron Man. There's another Marvel movie coming out this year, and it is Ant-Man and the Wasp, and of course I knew there was going to be a pop line. There's going to be Ant-Man, masked and unmasked. Of course, the unmasked will be the Chase. Same goes for the Wasp, as well as the new villain Ghost, and there will be a Walmart translucent exclusive. I didn't have the character with the box, so I sort of cut out the little preview that Funko officially put on their Twitter feed, but yes, you will be able to get these everywhere, and hopefully you will have a chance to get the Chase as well as the Walmart exclusive. And of course, they're milking the Deadpool line. I'm not surprised. So many places are offering special versions of Deadpool. There are two versions of Deadpool as a mermaid, and they're both going to be available at Target. But there's an Amazon exclusive of him in a chicken suit. There's a Box Lunch exclusive of him in a cheerleader outfit. There's an FYE exclusive of him as the Burger King King. And there's also a samurai with tacos on his sword from GameStop. Two versions of Panda Pool. One is going to be a flocked Chase from Hot Topic. 7-Eleven is getting back into the game with him in his X-Force suit holding a chimichanga, and they didn't give us an official glam yet, but there will also be a Barnes & Noble exclusive of Gandalf the Deadpool, which is so freaking funny. These are all great, but I'm happy with the fact that I'm getting my Bob Ross one in the mail very soon. But I'm sure that these are gonna sell, and I'm really excited for the movie. And Hot Topic offered some very interesting stuff. They offered a Crunchyroll box, which includes a pop from an anime that I never heard of. If you know what it is, please put it in the box below. I'd love to know. There will also be a Chase in this box of the same character, Elias, so hopefully you will be able to get it. And to celebrate 10 years of Marvel Studios, they're offering another Thanos pop, and he is on his floating throne. That is pretty awesome. Not interested, but very impressed that they made this. But Hot Topic gave me the pop ride to end all pop rides, and it is Zim and Gur on the pig. I love Invader Zim. I already have a glow-in-the-dark Gur, but this is one of the most amazing pop rides that I have ever seen. I am so excited to go down to a Hot Topic and get it, because this is a must-have for me. Not just as a pop fan, but as an Invader Zim fan. And even though this is a pop, it doesn't even look like a pop, except for the box. I love the details. Gur looks like Gur. Zim looks like Zim. This is beautiful. I must have it. And there's so many amazing things that Hot Topic is offering later on down the line, including a movie moment that I am so excited to see up close, and definitely interested in buying it. I'll let you know what it is as soon as I get a better glam shot, but you probably already know. And WrestleMania, the WWE line, is expanding with some more of their famous faces, including Triple H with a Chase, Kurt Angle, Vince McMahon finally, and for all of you old school fans, Sergeant Slaughter, but it's just not going to be a great addition without exclusives. And I have no idea who this wrestler is. The wrestler's name is Asuka, but my goodness, they are offering exclusives. You can only get the regular one at Target as well as the Chase, and there's also going to be another exclusive only at Walmart. And there's also going to be a double pack of the Hardy Boys, and I'm quite certain that this is an Amazon exclusive, so if you want these characters, you now know where to get them. And I knew that they were not going to hold back in terms of Solo, Star Wars Story, or as I prefer to call it, Han's Happy Days. If you don't know why I call it that movie, it's because it's directed by Ron Howard. You do the math. But they've officially created the line, and I've already started seeing them in stores. They do look pretty cool. I love Chewie with the goggles. I think that the details on Lando are fantastic. There's also a double pack of Han and Chewie in chains, which is something that Star Wars fans have been looking forward to actually seeing in the world of the Star Wars lore, because I believe that that is how the two of them met. Am I interested in any of these? At the moment, no, but the one that's really catching my eye is LC-37, because that does look like a very interesting character based on the trailers, but at the same time, I had the same feelings about K2SO when he was announced in Rogue One, and I never got the pop, never cared, but who knows if I may change my mind. And of course, a line this big is just not complete without exclusives. And one of the few things they did announce was there were going to be some for Toys R Us. They're now officially sending these to different stores like Hot Topic and Target and Walmart, but there are going to be a whole bunch of exclusives from every which way, featuring flocked characters, metallic characters, different designs. I think the coolest one in this group is definitely the Lando Calrissian. I love his details, but my goodness, there are so many new Stormtroopers. There's a Mud Trooper that is going to go online at the Funko shop for purchase on May the 4th, as well as a PX Previews exclusive of a Stormtrooper. How many more Stormtroopers are there going to be? Is there going to be a Scuba Trooper? Is there going to be a Space Trooper? A Super Trooper? I have no idea. But way too many Stormtroopers out there. And if I was someone who really wanted to go out of my way, I would try my best to get my hands on every single version of a Stormtrooper that I could. I do, in fact, have two versions. I'm okay with the ones that I have. But no, these are just getting a little bit out of control. And also, there's going to be a GameStop double pack of fighting droids. Very curious to see what their role is going to be in the film. And the Jurassic World line has expanded for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. There were a couple of characters that I did introduce to you guys, but there are going to be some exclusives. So besides the ones that we already know about, which are Owen, Claire, and Blue, there's going to be a Target exclusive of Owen and two other dinosaurs that are going to be featured in the movie, including a pop that I think a lot of people were expecting. Not necessarily from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, maybe even from the Jurassic Park line regular. It's a 10-inch pop of the T-Rex, only available at Target. As a Jurassic Park fan, part of me sort of wants to have that in my collection, but chances are the answer is going to be no. But I know so many people who would love a 10-inch T-Rex. And a line that I wasn't expecting is now a line that is making me so excited. They're making a Baby Driver line, and I am a huge Edgar Wright fan, and like the Quentin Tarantino pops that have come out, I like to have at least representation from each of the movies in my collection. And the same goes for Edgar Wright. I'm still waiting on Hot Fuzz pops because I would love a Nicholas Angel. I really would, because it would look so awesome. But I already have Shaun of the Dead pops. I got my Entertainment Earth Blood Splatter exclusives. But Baby Driver is one of my all-time favorite movies now. I call it the best film of 2017. And while I'm not interested in this entire line, I definitely want the regular Baby, because this is the patented look. This is the look that every YouTube film critic posed for in their thumbnails, them with the sunglasses on, and I love the iPod headphones as well. So this is going to be an easy one for me to get, and to have a Baby Driver representation in my collection would be just fantastic. And to close out this month's pop update, we have to let everybody know that one of the other most anticipated movies in the year is coming this summer, and it is the Incredibles 2 line. There were a couple of Incredibles pops that were released years ago when Funko first started making them, and almost all of them are worth a ton of money because nobody knew what Funko Pops were at the time, and now everybody wants to get their hands on those old ones. But there is a new wave for the new movie coming out, and you've got the whole family, including an invisible Violet Chase, which is something that makes absolute sense, as well as the Underminer and the new villain, the Screenslaver. And I've already added two of these to my collection. I'm not going to tell you which ones, because you will see them at some point down the line, but I will admit that the ones that really do stand out are the Underminer and Frozone. I have to admit I was very disappointed with Dash. I thought it would be really cool to see him in a running pose, but part of me is thinking that that's going to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, or maybe even a New York Comic-Con exclusive. Who knows? But speaking of exclusives, of course there are going to be some exclusives for this movie, and there are really cute versions of Jack from every which way, as well as a very cool version of Elastigirl, which is available at Target. So, Incredibles fans, I'm sure you're all excited for the movie, and I'm sure that you're all excited for these brand new pops. And once again, not that much this time around, thank goodness, in terms of all the news, but I'm not surprised there's going to be even bigger news with the cons coming down the line, and a whole bunch of new lines to share.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Always a pleasure to talk Funko Pops with you. Put your comments in the box below and let's have a discussion. And I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.